Hi guys, welcome to Team Marv screencast to fill you in on what we've done so far for our project. Um, we are planning on making a text-based game that will hopefully by the end of the project be running on a web browser so that everyone can try it out and play it and give us reviews on it. And to accomplish this goal, we decided to break the project into three parts. One consisting of the database, where all the items will be stored, players, player info, different suffixes and prefixes for items, which we'll go over, and the items names themselves. The second part will pretty much be the Java implementation, which will have all the text of the game and storyline, if any, of how the game is interacted, combat, connecting the database to Java. And then the last part will pretty much be having all the data in a text file so that we can read from that text file. So let's look at the tables we have so far. If you look at the video, you'll see that on the table view, right over here, we have tables enemies, item names, item prefixes, item suffixes, the items themselves, and player. All these tables do have relations with each other, which we'll go over shortly. Looking at the first table, the enemy name, the enemy table, we'll see that there's enemy ID, enemy name, job chance, item quality, and so on and so forth. And you'll see that the relation between all these tables, or the item table, the item prefixes, item suffixes table, is all have a relation with based on the item quality. How they interact together, we'll explain a little bit later. And then if you look at the prefix table, these are all the prefixes that will go in front of the item name. So if above we had items, above we have enemies, and the prefixes will go in front of the item name, the core item names. Suffixes will go after the item name. So if you have, let's say, a sword, sword of the bear, or sword of, for example, sword of defender, and this will give certain qualities. And if you observe closely, this also has item quality under there. So all these prefixes and suffixes will be given to the item based on its quality. That is the relation between those three tables, quality. This is the the items table. And this one is the full name of an item. So as you can see, it has the prefix, so vicious, for this first entry right here. The core name, or the base name, will be sword, and the suffix would be of the bear. And the prefix and the suffix are given to the base item name based on its item quality, based on that relation. Okay. All right. And now that we cover that, let's look at this. This is the first table we set up for our database, and this makes it very easy to see everything and where everything goes. And as you can see, we entered two player entries just to try this stuff out with their levels and everything. And each player may have items, so there's a relation between player and items there, like the table player and table items, because a player may have an item. And as you can see here, there's user ID on the items, and because we have two players, one player has a user ID of 1, player 2 has a user ID of 2, and each specific player has item IDs, items that they contain, and it specifies that it's equipped, whether it's equipped or in their stash, as you can see here. So whether the player is actually wearing the weapon or not, and that is how items will interact with the player table. Um, Enemies drop items, so their relation to items, that enemies in a way contain items, and when enemies are defeated, they will have a relation pointing out what items they drop. And as you can see, enemies, I prefixes, and I suffixes, as well as I names, are all read-only tables. They will not be updated. They will not be affected or changed in any way. They're only there based on relation between I names, I suffixes, I prefixes, and as you can see, the items table and the players table are the only two updatable tables. Players can have different items at different times. They can get rid of items. They can, gain experience, gold. They change over time. Or and similarly, items where items may be sold to stores. They may change the location. They may change their costs. They can change their suffix, prefix. I mean, items are updatable. They can be affected by the game. And this is all we have so far. I hope you liked our preview, and hopefully in a month we'll have a lot more done and a full running game for you guys.